Wonderful. Well, today we're going to do some technical analysis. I think that's a good idea. And I can cover any topic that you want to discuss in regards to Forex. Maybe we can do some training. You can pick a topic, scalping, spotting, swinging. Talk about pivots, talk about trends, anything really. You're the boss, and I am simply a humble currency trader that caters to your every whim. So, sounds like a fun day to me. So once again, good morning. Once the Windows decides to load my JPEG, come on, Windows. It's a JPEG for crying out loud. I can introduce myself. I guess it's going to take forever. You think $100 billion you can create software that'll show a JPEG quickly, huh? Well, anyways, I guess I have to do it the old-fashioned way. My name is Wayne McDonell. How you doing? I'm the chief market strategist for TradersWay.com and ECN that allows you to trade not only Forex, but things like gold and oil, all kinds of stock indices, from the Nikkei to the DAX to the FTSE, so on and so forth. Oh yeah, Dow and NASI and S&P 500 if that's your will. And then, of course, binary options. So maybe we can do some binary option trading today. The only thing is we've had very little volatility in the markets, and I tend not to want to use binaries in market conditions that are flat. So what's on your mind now? Are you thinking, oh, here we go, finally it loaded. That's me. So what's on your mind, guys? Come on. You're terribly quiet. Already, we just started terribly quiet. Waiting for a retracement on pound pairs? Okay, cool. Oh, Ryan wants to do some pivot stuff? Yeah. Okay, we can definitely do that. You know, a funny thing that occurred to me today? I reboot one of my trading machines, the one that I watched the Euro USD on, but it has six screens, which is fine. And the one screen that shows all my Euro USD pairs, well, it's got Euro USD on 4 time frames, right? Just that one screen. So this morning, that monitor won't work. Now, it's working, it's just not displaying an image, which is funny because MT4 didn't like resize itself, so it's working, but it's not displaying data, it's just black. So I'm looking at, you know, all my currency pairs in the world that I watch, and the Euro USD is just offline. Isn't that fortuitous? It's like, yeah, it's probably a good omen. It's just interesting. It just stopped working. It just black. Like, yeah, well, I guess I better stay away from that one. Yeah, maybe. Buy euro. Yeah, well, interesting nonetheless. All right, you missed a good lesson yesterday. I do these webinars every day. Every Friday I'm here at FX Street, but I do them every day. And yesterday, the markets didn't move very much, but we did talk the opportunity about taking your job incredibly serious And the secret to success is ridiculous, sickening work ethic. How does that sound to you? Yeah, Dad on Fire doesn't want to sell his dog. Yeah, true story. Yeah, so the message was you're going to have to work a couple of years at least to get the basics down. And once you start trading reasonably profitably, then it's going to take you probably another 8 years of incredible, ridiculous, sickening work ethic. And after all of that, so let's say maybe 10 years later, you'll be fine. You'll have a lot of money. And one of the issues that we talked about is that in the beginning, a lot of traders are underfunded. They're just underfunded. And I said, don't worry about it, because that's the thing that amateurs screw up all the time. And they blow up their account, but it's not much money, so they don't care. Well, you know, it's a mental thing. You should have a demo account and treat it like it's your life. But anyways, if you can trade, so here's a summary of that, and then we'll jump into technical analysis. If you can trade conservatively with discipline and patience, and on a consistent basis bring in steady pips, and I don't mean a million pips, just you can count on these pips showing up every month. You just don't really lose money. You don't make a huge amount of money, but there's pips you can count on. On slow months, you make some money. On when the market's really moving, you make a lot more money. And it all averages out to a good year. If you can do that consistently, there's all the money in the world floating around looking for a place to go. And the world needs somebody like that. That you've flushed out all the degenerate gambling electrons in your body. And you're just a very patient, very disciplined, low risk, reasonable reward type trader that can just do it, week in and week out. Sometimes you have bad days, but, it doesn't last for very long. And every once in a while you get lucky good days, but, you're not taking the big risks, so you're not, you don't have too many home runs to talk about. You just eke a living consistently. There's millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars that can go your way. Not this year, next year. And that's what I would be focused on if I was you. To become that kind of trader, very consistently does moderately well. If you can do that, the money is out there, so don't worry about the money. Worry about the results that I'm talking about. Okay? Put that as your focus, seriously. Remind yourself all the time. There's more money out there than you could possibly ever need. The money is the easy part, guys. The money is the easy part. So quit focusing on the money. All right, well, let's... what are we going to do today? It's going to be tough, isn't it? What are we going to do? Well, it's moved sideways for 3 days. Huh. What did you know about that? Do you think this is going to move technically? See, I don't think it's going to move technically at all. Yeah, I don't think it's going to move technically at all, so I don't know how to plan for it. What am I supposed to tell you? Oh, the 21 EMA is going to push it down? Yeah, normally I would say that. But I don't know if that's going to be true in this case. So I see a little bit extra risk. See, this is where a binary is interesting. If you get it right, you'll make some money. If you get it wrong, you'll lose a little. You'll lose some money. But you can't be in a situation like a Swiss franc where it moves 3,000 pips against you, and there's just no market, right? So it moves 3,000 pips against you, and you're insolvent. You can't do that with binary because it just gives you the option to to buy or sell. So if you're in a losing position and you lost 3,000 pips in 5 minutes, you wouldn't exercise your option. It would expire worthless. So it protects you from undue volatility. The reason I say I don't typically trade in flat volatility is it might not move, and you need it to move at least a pip or two to get paid. Right? You don't want to get unlucky where it just comes up and you're down -3, but you lose all your money because expiration hits you. So you need some volatility. Because at that point, all you need is direction. All right, so that's moving sideways, so I don't really have anything technically to say about it. That's that. I'm sorry. This is pound yen. We were in a range for a week? Moved a little lower, had an opportunity to sell it, and then it fizzled out again. Huh. Now, if you were trading this pure technicals, you'd probably be a seller, and you would have it marked up like this. Not necessarily that it has to trade inside that band, but I do this to just remind myself the general direction. That says lower low, lower high, lower low, lower to high for me. Yeah, we'll have to watch the commodity currencies, faux show. So anyways, look at that. Not very exciting, is it? I think you had a reasonable trade here. Come on. The webinar software's in the way of my trading software. There we go. Selling in there was all right, but it didn't produce what you wanted. And now that just, again, tells me because the market didn't move the way it was supposed to, the traders are not trading it technically. So red flag, right? How about that patience and discipline thing I talked about? So, I've radically cut back my trading in the last 3 days. Radically. So those are those. So let's look at some commodity currencies. What do you want to do with it? Are you a bull or a bear? Up, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo. I sold you bonds and I defaulted in you. You were acting like it's the end of the world. All right. So we got a little bit of a range there. Very significant pullback. After a higher high, you were probably expecting a higher low, not 100% retracement. So that suggests potential rollover, but certainly sideways move from here. Well, dollar looks strong right now. So I would assume some dollar strength in the coming minutes. So when dollar's strong, I like to look at USD yen. And it's interesting because it's flipping at, weird prices. Notice that somebody asked about pivot points. Can you guys see the weekly central pivot point? Yeah. Can you see it? Weekly central pivot point. And this is where the Euro USD hit bottom. Or I mean USD yen hit bottom. Isn't that interesting? Oh, you want me to go back and do a USD CAD? Well, Oren, what time frame are you talking about? How could I possibly know what you're talking about? It. You have to reference the time. Remember, price and time are on every chart. So the patterns change depending on the observer, their point of view, right? It's all relative to the observer. 15-minute and an hour. All right, let's go back to that, but I'll finish with the USD yen. So that could lead us to upside action. And currently the resistance I have marked here. So maybe up to 124. The big target, if you will, would be 124.50. So approximately 100 pips to the upside. Still technically in a down channel. I think you can see this. So I think it'll be interesting to stay above it, right? Are you a bear on this pair? If you're a bear, you're going to like the weekly R and monthly central pivot points on the dollar index, just slightly above where we are, which would, and it's daily, weekly. There's a daily, a weekly, and a monthly pivot cluster on the dollar index right where we are now. And that would hold it down as resistance. Therefore, a bear on the US dollar would look at this area as a potential short. Okay, so they're going to want to keep this below this area for sure. Other things that they're looking at, daily central. Hang on, let me draw it like this to make sure. Okay, they're looking at daily central, but also looking at yesterday's trading range. That's the sweet spot. The yellow area is the sweet spot for a sell. So someone could be looking at this area like this. Okay? So remember, in trading, if you're a bull, you buy low. Okay? If you're a bull, you buy low. If you're a bear, you sell high. You see what I mean? So like if you're thinking of buying the dollar now, you're just way late. And you're reacting to the fact that it's moving up now. Well, if you're so bullish, why didn't you buy it at the central pivot? See what I mean? Like you'd be in a much better situation right now. You'd be jamming your stop because this is a high risk area for a bull. You should know that. Okay? So what if you're a bull and you want to buy? You have to wait now. Oh, but I don't like waiting. Well, what happened to the patience and discipline thing, right? So at the bare minimum, you should wait for a double bottom or a higher high, higher low. You see what I mean? If you're a bull. So you're either buying low or you're buying the higher low. Do you understand why buying now would be a high risk scenario? Yeah? So one of the things I've been saying recently is that if you're not waiting, you're not trading properly. If you're not waiting for something right now, it means you don't have a trade plan. If you're not trading your trade plan, no control, no consistency, no confidence, no success, and all that kind of stuff. So it's going up. Okay, well, you should have been in it a long time ago. So what's going to happen next? Well, if you're a bull, it's either going to drop, in which you're going to look to buy a double bottom, because you're a bull, so it's going to reverse, right? Or you're going to let it break out, make a higher high, and then catch the next cycle. What are you doing now? Waiting. Now, what if you're a bear? You're getting ready. Are you on a 1 hour chart? No. So what should I do now if I'm a bear? Coach me. Okay, not yet. Okay, wait for a 3-minute chart, a 1-minute chart, wait for setup, all that kind of stuff. Well, some people are saying wait for the reversal and stuff. Well, no. Look, are we in my trade zone for a possible short? That's all I'm asking right now. Well, we're testing the 50% retracement. If it's going to make a lower high, it has to do it here, somewhere soon, right? In the next, 20 pips, 30 pips maximum? 60, 90, it has to do, can't be 30 pips. So we're at, 60, and the 75 or 80 level is really the top. And that would be a real problem for the bears if it even went that high. So it's got to do it soon. So I have permission on this time frame. Roger that. mission is a go. So you drop into 15. It's not very helpful. It's not suggestive of a price being ready to come down. Okay. But I'm in my sell zone. Typically, I'd like to see a cross like this on the 15, okay? But we've been moving slowly sideways anemically for so long that, of course, it's not overbought or oversold. Nobody's really trading it. But typically, I'd like to see an oscillator up like this. Then I would drop to a 5. Okay. And I can sit and wait. This oscillator looks fine. So you want to wait for it to come back into the trade zone. So like that. Because what that tells us is that price is no longer, candles, right, price, are no longer make green candles, they're making red candles. Okay? Sometimes what I do is I wait for this oscillator to wimp out, then I drop into the 1 minute. I drop into the 1 minute, and inevitably that oscillator now will be oversold, because remember the 5 minutes turn red. So the 1 minute will be like this, and so sometimes I'll wait for the 1 minute to come back up, and then I'll go sell, 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 sell. And now there's congruency between the 1 minute and 5 minute on my sell zone on the 1 hour and 4 hour. Now the interesting part of that is you're really scalping. I'm a unidirectional scalper. So what I do is I'll make a decision on a higher time frame as far as direction and location. The one thing I don't know is timing of my trade. I know where and why, I just don't know when. Okay? And so I'm sitting here waiting for you to justify my trade. Boom, boom. Wanting, waiting, needing for you to justify my trade. So I'm just waiting. Just above here at 123.70 is the 618 Fibonacci retracement of yesterday's trading range. Now that's using yesterday's trading range. You might want to look at it differently, and maybe take the bigger high cycle. Can you see how a bull should have bought it in here at the weekly central? Because they're not measuring yesterday's trading range, right? They're measuring the range from here. Beautiful 618 Fibonacci retracement. Did it make a higher high, though? No. So to me, it's a bit of fool's gold. So a bull there would talk about that over and over and over again. Oh, yeah, easy peasy. I bought the 618. Okay, good. With an oscillator, fine. At a weekly central, all good. The problem is we're range bound, and you're using, a Fibonacci is not 100% the appropriate tool to be using in a range-bound market, but it is real support. Okay? But sometimes you have confirmation bias, right? You believe what you want to believe. But the facts are kind of interesting. Where did we start the week? Talk to me, Goose. Why is that interesting? What do you see there technically? All right, so some people see, you're calling it double bottoms and stuff. Let's just say it's support. Okay. Monthly central pivot, very good. That's important that it's holding. So somebody's holding the line, that's a real line of defense, isn't it? Somebody cares about that is what it says to me. Somebody important cares about that calculation. Okay? So remember, it's just the high, low, and close of May's trading ranges divided by 3. But somebody cares. Somebody enough to hold the entire market. On a major pair, guys, that's a lot of money. I mean, we're talking billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars are holding that line. Maybe we should care, right? All right, what else do you see? Well, okay, the higher low here, sure. But that is only, see, the high low has to be plannable. Okay, so I'm talking about even stuff before that. What would make you believe that that could possibly bounce? Like, why would somebody buy there? So someone's convinced that this is a bullish market. We're holding the line on the monthly central. But how about the weekly M2? What does that suggest? Going to M4, thank you. So people that might have purchased USD yen at the monthly central, what they're hoping to do is this. That is their trade plan. We know that. We know what they're planning on doing. But we have a short trade set up. Why? Because you didn't buy it here. Why didn't you buy it here? You didn't have it planned. So that wasn't your plan. Could have been a pretty good plan, though, right? So if you're not long now, then you're not a bull. Just say it that way. So you must be a bear. Because you had, like, what, 2 days to plan that? 2 days! But that's the problem, isn't it? That's where a lot of amateurs, they're just, like, chasing price all the time. Oh, it's going up, I gotta buy it. Oh, it's falling, I gotta sell it. It's falling, I gotta sell it. It's fallen 75 pips, I guess I gotta sell. Has anyone tested that theory for at least a year? How many people here have tested that theory of waiting for it to fall 75 pips and then selling, or wait for it to bounce and then buy it? You know, it doesn't work, does it? To constantly be late, to constantly let other people make the decisions for you. Is that how you want to live your life and your career? You're going to be on CNBC, and they're going to ask you about your outlook for the Euro USD, and you're like, I'm just going to do whatever. Hey, how about that Aussie dollar? You know what? I just kind of like wait for things to happen, and then I just throw down a trade. So, like, if I see a bunch of red candles, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta throw down a trade. I guess it's bearish today. We've all said it though, right? We've all been there. Oh, I guess it's gonna be bearish today. Yeah, a little late. So here's the situation, because you need control to have consistency, right? You need control to have consistency. And you can't control the market, so all you can do is control your behavior. So if you didn't buy, you're probably bearish, or you've missed it, so you got to just create another bullish plan. But in the meantime, you should have a plan for a future move. You've missed this one. Someone else is going to take profit. You smell that? That's someone getting ready to take profit around 123.80. Can you smell it? So getting in now would be terribly late and risky. So if someone bought down here at 20, let's say 25 or 30, right? Up and down. So let's say they're long here. That would be a good trade, don't you think? That means 50 pips above that's 80, and they're going to take their profit. You know that you do the same. You start looking at your charts and you see 95 reasons why you should get out. But isn't that where, if you're a bear, you should be getting in? That's all you have to do, guys. That's the secret to success. You say, well, if I were me, I would be getting nervous up around 124. If I was a bull. And I was sitting on 50 or 60 pips profit, we were up here, I would get out. If I were me, I would get out, right? So maybe somewhere up in there, you should have a plan to sell. Since you're not enjoying a profitable trade now, maybe you should be planning a trade instead of chasing price up there, right? Do you want to stand on the shoulder of giants or eat from the crumbs of giants? What do you want to do with your life? So you should be planning maybe a reversal back down up sort of in these areas. A 618 would be very interesting, or a range trade. Right? Because what are the two market conditions? If you're not bullish, what are the two market conditions that could possibly present itself later today? Whether it's in 5 minutes or in 5 hours, we don't know. But what are the two market conditions, if you're not bullish, that are possibilities today? Bearish? Well, there's something. There's always something. Ranging. So there's two things you should identify. If it's trending down, where would a bear sell? Right? So here's a 618 50% area. And if it's ranging, where's the big resistance, right? Because there's the big support. So, around here. So your two scenarios are sell, 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 sell. And now you're waiting. If you're a bull, you still have to wait, so what do you care? And you know what the interesting thing is? You need the bears because you want to buy a dip. Either way, at this point, you're jamming your stop at break even, or you're waiting for bears to come into the market. Either because you're a bear and you want to jump in short, or you're a bull because you want to buy the dip. Either way, that's what you're waiting for. Make sense? Or you're just late. You're just slow as molasses. You're throwing down a trade for no particular reason. You're not creating trade plans. You're not setting up ambushes. You're just reacting to other people's trades and other people's trade plans. And the pips you're living on are, the pips here. So like from 70 to probably 80 or 90 is the max I think this would go before some sort of hesitation. So you're entering in at 70 and it goes to 90, but if you have no patience and discipline getting in, you're not going to have patience and discipline getting out. So you're going to walk away with maybe 10 pips at best. Most likely you're going to get knocked out of break even because you're going to buy it late and then it's going to come back and then you're going to freak out and jam your stop and you'll just get knocked out here. But the guys that bought down here, they had the patience, the discipline, and they had the plan. And they're convinced this is going not just to the top of our range, but to M4. They're going to make 100 pips, and you're going to, someone trading now is probably at best going to break even. Does that make sense, guys? I mean, are you, do you believe it? All right, so I got my trading team agrees with me, nice, and 3 other people. So what are the other 75 people doing? What's on your mind, guys? You have an aversion to typing? You don't like to public typing scares you? Everyone's nodding. See? Good. Lazy. No power. Yeah. They're all listening. Good. Have you guys had a tough week? Oh, already in short. OMG. Oh my God. How could you possibly be short that? Oh no. When did you enter? Yeah, I said it before and I said again. I think maybe around Tuesday I just stopped trading. Just the technical stopped working. It was one of these things where I couldn't believe it. I'm like, that's like 3 trades in a row that didn't work out. And I'm like, oh my God. But they were good plans, but and then I realized, oh my God, it's not me. It's not me, because I'm a good trader. It's not my fault. The market's crappy. It's the market's fault. But isn't it that it's funny how the mind works, right? The trader psychology, right? The trader psychology is really interesting. If you don't have patience and discipline and control and consistency and you don't have the confidence and all that kind of stuff, right? It takes a long time to get to confidence as a trader. And I've done speeches in the past where I'll do anything I can to protect my confidence. Confidence is supremely more important than pips and money, right? And when you are a confident trader and you lose, it can't possibly be your fault. Now, that's confidence bordering on arrogance, right? But maybe that's required to survive this gig, because trading currencies for a living is a pretty tough gig. But what it tells you is the market conditions have changed. That's what it tells you. Now, for why? What's changed? Well, I had planned a couple of months ago, I told people to plan for this week, this particular week, guys, this particular week we talked about 2 months ago, about this week, the market conditions will start to change. And that we're moving into summer. And that we need to change our strategy. Or our expectation, right? And I talked about, the less volume, less volatility, that we should maybe go for, change our strategy to like 33, 66 OCOs instead of going for more and less trends and all that kind of stuff. But we also have this Greek problem, right? So I realized on Monday and Tuesday of just not being able to catch a decent trade that, instead of getting all bent out of shape emotionally and certainly not losing confidence, because I think it was Tuesday morning, my wife comes downstairs, comes out onto the patio, and, it's like, I don't know, 5:30 in the morning, sun's just coming up, and I'm outside, and I have a guinea pig sitting on my lap. I'm drinking my 19th coffee, and I'm smoking a cigar. And she's like, "This isn't a typical thing for you." I'm like, "Nope, baby, I'm just staying in my happy place." And I'm halfway through a 2-hour cigar, right? At 5:30 in the morning. And she's like, "Well, what's the problem?" I'm like, "I've had a frustrating, and even a couple of days last week, just I couldn't get things to work." So I told her, I'm like, "I've just been going through a frustrated trading period, and I'm staying in my happy place, and I'm smoking my cigar, and I'm pondering things deeply, and I realized, it occurred to me, the clouds open up. And the angel spoke. And they said, "It's not your fault, Wayne. It's the gold dang Greeks." It's not you. And I'm like, "Oh, thank you, Forex angels. Thank you." Yeah, it turned out it was my guinea pig talking to me. Yeah, and it must have been the LSD too. But honestly, so I'm like, you know what? That's it. The market has stopped trading technically. That there's now some sort of emotion in the market, and I don't do emotions very well. So I'm like, I need to throttle back big time. Because these market conditions are not favorable for me personally to make a lot of money. So I'm going to back out before I lose, God forbid I have like a negative month. Don't want that. So that's that. I adjusted to the market conditions, not the other way around. And I think that's supremely important, isn't it? And I stayed confident. I just said, you know what? My strategy doesn't fit market conditions. I need to either adjust or just back out completely. I don't know. So, go on. So, if you're doing things right, guys, you're planning. Yeah, I don't have wheat charts, Pan. Are they going up or not? Yeah, so I think I told you a month ago that wheat was going to go up, didn't I? But I don't have a wheat chart, but maybe we should look on like Bloomberg or something. A Bloomburger with cheese. Why did I say wheat was going up? I have inside information, and my source is incredibly accurate. On more than one occasion, we've talked about wheat going up over the years, and never been wrong. So does anyone know about this $17 billion Greek package? What's going on with that? The one from this morning? There's something going on, isn't there? Boy, the new Bloomberg website, I was pulling it up, is so difficult to navigate now. I type in wheat futures, and it gives me 3 ads and then a bunch of articles about wheat futures. I mean, the first thing it should do is give me a chart. There used to be where you could just change the heading. You're like, oh, well, I can go to futures and stuff, but all that's gone. Here's a commodities one. They have too many menus in my in my humble opinion. And some of the I don't know if you've seen it, but some of the charts are very hard to read on their site too. But all right, so we're just sitting waiting for this one. That would produce dollar weakness. Um, you know, another. So, anyways, put that on your trade. It should happen soon, or not at all for until we get to the psych level. Go to an Aussie. That could be interesting. Now, a few weeks ago, somebody at the Reserve Bank of Australia actually said that they don't believe it. The Aussie's worth 77. But All right, so here's wheat. And in May, I said it would go up. So right around there. So we've started, so I guess we'll go to the 1 month. So it was even lower than that. I wish we could do 2 months. See, I can't even adjust their stupid chart. But we know there was a low even lower than this one. So that this is a higher low already, and it's still working its way up. All right, so yeah, so a month ago I said look for wheat prices to go up, and they're just starting. So I think this could go, way up into here at least. Okay. So anyways, there's Aussie. It's moving. Pivot points. See how it topped out yesterday in New York? $77.5, so it's a midpoint psych level. And it's a weekly central pivot. And that's supposed to be a W, weekly central pivot point. So the only thing that needed to happen is you be a bear. Earlier in the week, I was looking for things more like this. Clearly, we moved into a range. So, in my humble opinion, you base your strategies on long-term charts and fundamentals only. Only. Okay? So, you would say to yourself, fundamentally, I'm a bear on Aussie dollar. And ideally, wouldn't it be great if all you could possibly do on that pair, on this pair, is sell? What if you were invited on CNBC television or Bloomberg television to talk about the Aussie dollar, and you said, well, fundamentally, I'm a bear on the Aussie dollar, and I'll give you 3 reasons why. That'd be a lot better interview than, well, I just kind of open my charts and I start looking, and if I see a bunch of red candles and other traders have decided to move the market down, then I'll throw in a trade and pick up the last 20 pips on a 100 pip move. Right? So you could say fundamentally, and things like, Reserve Bank of Australia, cutting interest rates to all-time low. One of the RBA guys have actually said it's not even worth the 77 that we're at now, and so on and so forth. Blah, 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 blah. Fine. What if you used a longer-term chart instead of fundamentals because you don't get it? You don't get fundamentals. So you don't know how to do it. You don't understand. Okay? That's a daily chart. Is it going up or is it going down? Probably too much information, right? Okay. Is it going up or is it going down? See, I don't even care what your reasons are, but you should have an answer to the question. I might disagree with you, but you should have an answer. So we've had a 382 Fibonacci retracement. So you have to say, well, Wayne, based on that long-term chart technical, technically, I expect this thing to head down. A 382 predicts a 1618. So you believe, I believe it's going to go from 77 to 72. Okay? Do you see how easy it is? If you've just done 5 minutes worth of work, I'm only begging you to do the work. So you have no idea about fundamentals, so you're not even doing fundamentals. Now we have support down in here, obviously. It's been there a long time. But would if you're trading the 382 Fibonacci retracement way up here at 78, I mean, look, so it goes from 78 to 76, all right? So, all right, you only made 200 pips. But it took minimal effort. How about the oscillator? Well, that's a beautiful oscillator, so on and so forth. But you've made your decision. Let's say it's not even a swing trade for you. Well, on a daily basis or on an hourly basis, but I mean, for each day that you're trading, you're only looking for opportunities to sell. You see what I mean? You've made that clear to yourself. So, all right, it's Monday morning. London open on Monday. Is this a reasonable place to sell? You're not allowed to buy. Not allowed to buy. So, London open. London is opening. Is this a reasonable place to sell? What's a 618 Fibonacci retracement of the previous day's trading range? And you're not allowed to do anything else. Huh. Okay. So the next day, Tuesday morning, you've made a 50% retracement and you're at a roll reversal area. Is this a reasonable place to sell? You're a bear fundamentally, or you're a bear based on long-term technicals. Just, that's all you're allowed to do. Okay, good, fine. Next day, London open. London actually opens here. Is this a good place to sell? Okay. Where could you possibly sell? There's a weekly pivot, there's previous resistance, and there's stuff going on in this zone. So maybe in there. Wouldn't be an easy trade, but you could consider it up there, but certainly not down here, right? You'd say not way down here, but then, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours later, you're holding underneath the weekly central pivot. All right, but a tough trade, right? There was lots of rumors in this period. Oh, there's a Greek deal. Oh, there's not a Greek deal. Oh, the deputy Greek finance minister said something. Boom, your trade's gone. A little difficult, but whatever. I'm asking very basic questions, right? Okay. The next day, London open. Is this a reasonable place to sell? London open, is this a reasonable place to sell? No, a little late, man. Right? A little late. And I would have assumed, if I were me, that a bull wanted to buy it at 77. Depending on my strategy, Gabriel. 25 or 33 if I'm basically just, you know, day trading kind of session trading kind of thing. If I'm swing trading, I could have significantly more than that. So anyway, so that's that. So if you were swing trading and sold on Monday, you'd still be short. If you're day trading, you got a couple of trades that, you know, one that paid well, one that kind of paid, you know, fairly well, and then one choppy, and one didn't set up, and then one was late. So, you know, there you go. But maybe this is an interesting break on the short term, right? So, if London was opening now, would you sell here? Oh, my pleasure, Gabriel. No. See how easy trading is, guys? So where would you sell? Maybe I'd sell like that. And I'll set myself short here after a kickoff. Right? So what do we do now? We wait. How many people found that helpful, that exercise? Anybody? 83 people in the room. I'm trying to clarify. I'm trying to make things simple, not complicated. There's no goofy strategy with a funny name. There's no proprietary crystal balls. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. All right, thank you guys. Who remembers my goal for these FX Street webinars? Why do I do these every Friday? Why do I invest my time and energy? I want to contribute to at least 1,000 pips to your trading this year. So more specifically than want you to understand, I do want you to understand. I do want to teach you like price action and moving averages and fibs and pivots and all that, but there needs to be a goal that's specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. And I think having 1,000 pips as a result of you attending these Friday events, you know, is specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely by the end of the year. But you have to do it. But I'll show you how. Okay? So an exercise like this, what I said was either fundamentally or technically. Okay? Either fundamentally or technically. Make a decision on the direction of the currency. We're talking about Aussie now. Make a decision. Last week or maybe the week before, I had people do this. I asked people to make a decision, technically or fundamentally, I didn't care. But you thought about it, and you made the best decision you possibly can make, or you just flip a coin. But then you print out the chart, whatever chart you use to make your decision if it was technicals, and then take a black felt tip marker, really, really stinky one, the real big fatties, right? And write down sell if you're a bear, and put it on your wall, and that's all you're going to do. Sell or not sell. So that on a day like this, let's say you like to trade the London Open, I want you to be consistent, you guys. Consistent. The same time every day. So for me, 2 a.m. New York time. I look at my chart and I say on this one, sell or not sell. The next day, sell or not sell. The next day, sell or not sell. Okay? How many people will do this for me? Do it for me. You don't want to do it, but do it for me. Say, I want to help Wayne become Forex Person of the Year, so I'll go ahead and make the 1,000 pips on Wayne's behalf. I don't really want to make the 1,000 pips, but I'll do it for Wayne. Just do it for me. Keep the pips. Okay? Very simple things, right? It's elementary, isn't it? But if you were a professional, you would be expected to have an opinion, and you know it. What do you want to do with the Aussie? I'm a bear. What? I'm a bear. Are you going to buy it? No, I'm a bear. That's it. What's your outlook on the Aussie? Down. Are you sure? Down. But down. But down. Because, you know, you've seen an amateur trade, right? What is an amateur trade? Oh, I'm a bear. Oh, green candles. Oh, I got to buy it. I'm going to miss it. Oh, I'm bullish. It's going to go up. Oh, it's falling. I think I'm going to sell. I think I'll sell. And selling. I'm going to. Oh, it's going back up again. And they're just all over the place. A complete disaster. A mess. They're swinging both ways like a broken gate, and they're not even doing that well. So why not do the opposite? What would the opposite be? Stubborn. Hey, it's gone up 300 pips this week. I don't care. I'm a bear. Until the central banking policy changes. How about that answer? How about you're a bear to the end of the year? I don't care if Aussie dollar goes up 700 pips. I don't care. Stay a bear. Just look for resistance. It won't hold if you're wrong. And if you're right, it will hold. So what's the big deal? We know your other way fails. You're losing money doing it the other way. So you got to, you have to sit down with your guinea pig and a 2-hour cigar, watch the sunrise, and answer some questions. What the hell's going wrong? You're smart. You're good looking. The gods favor you. You have natural ability and talent and taste. So what the hell's wrong with you? Why do you keep losing, right? Don't you get mad? I used to get mad all the time. Everything else is wonderful except this trading thing. What's going on? And then the markets answer, it's not us, it's you. Now, after years of doing it differently, then you could say, well, it's not me, it's the stupid market. The market's wrong. Well, right now, for you, the market's right, and you're the wrong. You know what I mean? You're doing it wrong if you're trading all over the place. I've seen a lot of amateur traders and reviewed their records and stuff, and I was helping one trader several years ago. He's now gone on to become a much better trader, but I would look at his trades, and it was a disaster, just a complete mess. He'd be like long pound dollar and short euro dollar at the same time, and I'm like, I can't figure out what you're doing. Are you bullish on the dollar or bearish on the dollar? Oh, I'm neither. I'm just throwing down trades. I'm like, it's not going to work out. So change your behavior, guys. Change your behavior. So go through the majors, right? Do like a CAD and an Aussie. Do a yen. USD for sure. Right? Pound and euro. Think about it if you need to. Certainly look at a 4-hour chart or a daily chart. Make some decisions. And that's that. Print it out. It's like a contract. That's why I want you to print it out. And I want you to get a felt tip marker because I actually want you to smell it. So when you're signing your contract with yourself that you can only sell Aussie dollar, I want you to smell it because it goes into the olfactory part of your brain. You're going to see it. You're going to feel it because it's on paper. It's not just like, yeah, my mind. Yeah, Wayne, I guess I'm a bear. And that's it. No, it's not like that. Because if you're not willing to commit to a piece of paper, then you're not going to commit to your decision. Do you understand that? Oh, I don't want to print it out, Wayne. Good, you're going to lose. You don't have the discipline. What did I talk about yesterday, and how did I start our conversation today? The secret to success in Forex is ridiculous, sickening work ethic. Wayne, I want to be a success. I want to make millions of dollars, but print out a piece of paper and then write down I'm a bear? Well, that's just silly. I'm not going to do that. Good. Get out of my office. Are you still breathing my air? Right? I just want a team of ridiculous, sickening, work ethic kind of people. Nothing's based on an hourly chart. Daily chart. You're not allowed to change your mind until the end of the year, unless the central bank changes its mind. All right, well then build a wall just for hanging your analysis. Get an office, rent an office, put anything you want on the wall. You can keep your wife, though, because she's probably smarter than you. I can tell because she's your wife. Yeah, they're smart. All right, so we're going to make a change then, right? You're going to make a decision, and you're going to build a routine around this. And you can ask yourself at the same time every day, and I like the London Open because it's the beginning of the day. It's not convenient for me, guys. Right? It's not convenient for me. I have to wake up at 1:30 in the morning. Hey, you want to make $1 million a year? Yeah. Oh, but you'll have to wake up at 1:30 in the morning. Oh, forget it. Do you have anything easier? This is what people do. Isn't it funny? This is what people do. Oh, really? Do you have anything else? Yeah, I'd like the million, but that's inconvenient for me. And are you joking? So, anyways, London Open, you're a bear on the Aussie, and you ask yourself, is this a place to sell? Where's the difficulty, right? Is that simple enough? Then you look at the euro. Is this a place to sell? Then you look at the pound. Is this a place to buy? You look at some of the yen pairs. Is this a buy zone? All right, so a question here. What if the technicals and fundamentals don't agree, like Euro USD? Well, what did I tell you I've done for the last 3 days? Because you're right. Technicals and fundamentals are just not lining up very well. WWWD, what would Wayne do? Yeah, nothing. Are you paid to trade? That's right. Or a Cuban guinea pig, right? No, who's paid to trade? Who gets paid from trading? Well, since tradersway.com is your ECN that allows you to trade Forex and oil and gold and silver and stock indices and binary options and stuff, they get paid from trading. So they're an ECN, which means you say sell Euro USD, and they're like, okay, we'll enter that into the interbanking market on your behalf. We are not going to take the other side of the trade. We're not a market maker. We're not anything. We will execute that into the interbanking system at very, very, very low spreads, but you're going to have to pay a small commission because you're getting the interbank retail spread plus a small commission to pay for Traders Way because they have to have a staff and they have their own costs to have access to the interbanking system and all that kind of stuff. So you pay a small commission. It's tiny, but it's the cost of doing business. And that's the revenue for your broker. So your broker gets paid from trading. Do you get paid for trading? No, you get paid to make profitable trades. You understand the difference? You get paid from profit. So when your fundamentals and technicals don't agree, does that sound like easy money to you? You're like, oh man, the pips are going to jump into the boat, right? What do you do if you're a fisherman and you're standing by the edge of the creek and you've been fishing for 5 hours and you haven't even had one bite? Set up rabbit traps. Right. Set up some rabbit traps because there's no fish today. Well, what if you spend 10 hours at the creek throwing your line into a river with no fish? Is it going to get any better? What if you get some dynamite? Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah. Lewis. Luis is funny, huh? Rabbit swim? No, stop fishing. You better find something else to do because you're gonna get hungry, right? So, I got to keep an eye on the time. Oh man, I'm like way over time. I guess the admin's fallen asleep, huh? It's been, right? I've been going on forever, haven't I? Yeah. Thank you, admin. Maybe it's a Friday. Everyone's just calm today. Shh, keep going. Yeah. Am I out of time, admin? I can keep going. We'll do some more charts. Yeah, I can. Oh, wait. I'm out of time. Admin says I'm out of time. Yeah, I've been enjoying it too. Market's moving. So I'm confused, admin. Am I out or am I in? Okay, thank you. Appreciate it, FX Street. You're a wonderful host. Smart, good-looking, talented, cultured people at FX Street. Thank you, FX Street. Okay, so yada yada yada. Let's go take a look at that yen because it's probably getting. Oh, is that we are on the yen? All right, hang on. I thought we had it differently. Well, let's go back to this then. The next level we had was the psych level, wasn't it? So we're way up there now. Wait. Okay. Let's take a look at the yen pairs. Or do you want to do kind of go around the world? You know, let's go around the world. Hang on. Let's do the world tour. Yeah. Oh, Oscar. Yeah, I'm happy to stay. Yeah, I did 3 hours of webinars yesterday. Nothing happened. But we talked about a lot of very important things. The market didn't do anything. I should say it that way. %50 if you do it this way. Yeah, it looks like that's how the market was doing it. Look for roll reversals, right? Yeah, seems like a nice little roll reversal here. You know what we're looking at? S&P 500. Yeah, it's good to see, huh? Now what do you want to do with the S&P 500? Well, if it's going to be bearish, it's going to be bearish sort of up here. Okay. So it seems to me maybe, how should we play this? Up on the open, down in the afternoon. So let's put it this way. Like, why do I do all these things? Sometimes we got to ask the basic question, okay? Was this area important in the past? Okay? According to technical analysis theory, should it be important in the future? Then you need to plan accordingly. You see? Do I sound wishy-washy, like I'm in between decisions? No. The closer we get to that area, the more likely it's going to have importance. So let's say if we spiked on the open, right, we're going to hit the, oops. If we spiked on the open, let's get the proper drawing tool. So it fades down, right, and then let's say it hits the 382 and then goes boom. Are we going to have an up day? The stock market opens strong. Nope. No, it's not. I'm certain of it. Well, I'm not certain of the market, but I know my behavior because I know the risk is increased right there for a long trade. Okay? Now, if we bust above that, then I'd be buying dips over and over and over again because we don't have an up dip yet, do we? Right? We consolidated. We've had our pullback. It could possibly develop, but that's on an hour. On a bigger time frame, the only thing we have going, oops. Finally, it's a little slow there. What we have going is this. So I would assume that the trend is going to continue. Okay? Until it reverses. Once it's reversed, it's my job to recognize that it's reversed and then change from a bullish to a bear, from a bearish to a bullish strategy, if that's what I want to do. Okay? So that's the U.S. stock market. Clearly bouncing at a psych level. Okay. Actually, that makes me think. Did I say it was going down to 2100 yesterday? I think I did, didn't I? As soon as I said the 2100, I think we did a fib of it. Ha, 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 ha. See? Previous day's trading range, 618, just before the open, predicts a 1382, which is exactly 2100. Ha! Ho! Hoo-ha! Hoo-ha! Yep. Lufle, told your mum. Yeah. Beautiful. See, New York open down. Nice. Isn't it nice to know that even the stock market behaves properly? Gold is easy. Sell it at 1200. And that's that. See, it went up, hit 1,200 down. That's it. Nothing else to it than that. Here's the USD CAD trade. We've been watching this setup here since the beginning of the year. Clustered, made a higher high, so we're expecting a higher low, either at the green or the red zone. Well, we got the red zone, and it's holding right now. And because it dropped a little farther, I'm a little worried about the top of the channel. But if we can break the channel and get through this high, we have a very strong uptrend again. Okay? You get it? So it'd be high, dip, gone. Yeah. Yeah. No trade on Euro USD. How about that? Yeah, check it out on Monday. Yeah. What else could we do here? Let's see. I did some stocks. Oil. You want to do oil? Okay. So that's my sell zone I created in December. It's almost July. Yeah, I know. So the predicted move that I set up in March, in March, it's almost July. In March, I thought it would come down. It would then head up, which it did. It would hit the zone, make a lower high, lower low. Well, what it did instead is it got up, hit my sell zone, and then just consolidated. But the plan is to roll this over back down. Well, for 3 days straight, it's come down. It hasn't gone up past my line. And I'll remind you, even though I just said it, this area for selling oil, I set up in December of last year. And then this price action, right? The double bottom predicts what? Up into the resistance and then sell. So from March all the way to May, it rallied up into the sell zone, in which we have the reversal pattern set at the long-term resistance. So now we're waiting for it to break out to the downside, and maybe, just maybe, it's starting that right here, right now. Lewis, you can do the binary, but what I said earlier is I prefer not to trade binaries when we lack volume and volatility. Because I could get unlucky and the market just moves sideways and I can be off 1 pip and lose my whole thing. It'll expire worthless. So what I want is market moving in a direction. Because if I pick the direction right, I'm going to make money on the binary. It doesn't matter. It's done. It's a done deal. Because I'm going to sell at resistance and it's going to fall. And I only have to be right 1 pip. Well, come on, dude. 1 pip, that's it? Not a problem. But if the market doesn't move and I sell it and it kind of goes down for a little bit and then up for a little bit and then sideways, I'm like, oh my God, I could be off 1 pip. My contract expires worthless and not a good trade. Okay? So, I'm just going to wait for the Greek thing to happen. Right? I wouldn't call it a black swan, but we can call it a crow, maybe. We'll let the old crow do its thing, and then we'll come back like I do every day, day after day after day, 12 to 15 hours a day, 5 days a week, 52 weeks a year. I just sit here and plan trades. So if this is an unusual situation and I could get jacked and lose some money, I'm not interested. I just want to make money. That's it. I want easy money. Now I'll work really hard to get it. I'll work very hard to get the easy money. And the rest, I'll leave it for the other 95%. Well, the FX Street moderator said we had an extra 15 minutes. I think I went on for another half an hour. So we really have to be cognizant of their time and their effort and their responsibilities. So I'd like to say bravo to FX Street. Bravo, 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 bravo. Yeah, so thank you, FX Street. I'd like to thank you guys for hanging with me, even on a particularly boring day. I hope you found a rewarding use of your time. Your time is extremely valuable, and you could be doing all kinds of interesting things with it, so I'm glad you spent it with me. I want you to succeed. I hope you know that. I hope you also realize that the advice I give you comes from my life's experience, and that you're the one that needs to make the changes. And I would like you to report back to me and let me know how it's going. On your 1,000 pip journey, I'd like you to keep a tally and keep me updated. Would you do that for me, please? I would like it if you could stand on the tip of a mountain and be able to yell for all to hear in all its beautiful glory how many pips you've made extra because of your hard work and some of my advice. Okay? De nada. So peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. Trade safe. Stay small. Stay humble. Focus on the long term. Never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Have a wonderful weekend, okay? And remember, if you don't want to make the 1,000 pips, you just do it for me, okay? Just do it for Wayne. Help a brother out. Take care, guys.